Hi everyone, I'm Gladi Cologne.
And I'm Laura Hartman.
And you're watching Brand New Day on Be Well TV. Catch us here every Thursday for a brand new episode. How's it going, Laura?
It's going great. How are you?
I'm good. I am so thrilled for our guest today.
Me too.
This person holds a special place in both of our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be, we used to work for him.
Yes, yeah.
And was served for many, many years as one of our mentors.
Mm-hmm.
So without further ado, we would both like to welcome Mr. Glen Winsor, General Manager of the Hilton Orlando Bonnet Creek.
Yay! I always do that. Yay!
Currently on special assignment in Las Vegas. So welcome, Glen.
Hi,
Well,
Glen.
thank you for that. Hi, what a great introduction. Wow, I'm blushing. Seriously, very, very cool, this whole brand new day in Be Well TV. I am just thrilled to be on it. And thank you for inviting me. I'm the second inaugural virtual guest, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got all the kinks worked out for me. Thank
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
We did all the troubleshooting, so everything's going to go smoothly today.
Exactly.
But Glen, thank you so much for being on our show. We know that you know a lot about what's going on in the Orlando market. However, you've been spending some time in Las Vegas right now, and we want to know what's going on in the West Coast.
I mean, how terrible! I mean, you got who twisted your arm to make you go out to Vegas on special assignment?
Yeah, no, it's been a pretty cool gig out here. I'm missing all my awesome peeps at Hilton Bonnet Creek.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. Love those guys. Hey.
So how long have you
missing
been out in
them.
Vegas?
It's been about, I guess, since mid-March.
Wow.
Somewhere in that range. Yeah, March 15th I came out here to help with a special project that I'm going to have to keep undercover, top secret.
That's
but
okay.
It's been wonderful. And of course, we've just seen this go from 0 to 60 in about 7 seconds in Las Vegas, like you wouldn't believe. It's rocking and rolling out here.
Wow.
And I think I arrived right around the time it was just starting to move. And, where we were running similar occupancies like we've seen around the country in the 20s and 30s, to all of a sudden you're running, Thursday to Sunday in the 80s to full.
Wow.
And that happens just like within a matter of weeks. So I've been fortunate to experience this, both two amazing destinations, Orlando, of course, an amazing convention and family destination. And then, of course, here in Vegas, another great convention destination that is really more of an adult playground, as we all know. So it's just incredible to see what happened in Orlando and now in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So you've been working in Orlando for the better part of your career. And so what would you say is the biggest difference that you've noticed so far working out in Las Vegas?
Well, it's truly night and day. Definitely two different destinations, two different purposes. Las Vegas really is, an adult playground. It's just a fun place to come out with your favorite person and favorite persons and just have a fun time. And Las Vegas does it right, like Orlando. Amazing support systems in place to protect tourism. And I think they've done an excellent job, especially this, the Southern Nevada Health District in tandem with the Clark County government, in tandem with the Gaming Commission, which is another whole body itself that protects the customer. So it's very interesting to see how it all works here, and very coordinated. Just good systems and good leadership, just like Orlando has to take care of our customers coming into Orlando. Very, very buttoned up here. I was very impressed with all the communication, the protection. As operators, it's we're definitely in a season that we've never seen before. Of course, your stakeholders are important, but here, you have to take care of stakeholders at a whole different level. It's just incredible.
I bet.
Yeah, what a cool experience for you to learn and see that totally other side of our industry. I mean, just how incredible.
Yeah.
I'm sure every day it's just, oh my gosh, just absorbing so much. And even from learning how to just, not go crazy with the slot machines and the noise and the, you're used to, Glenn's used to walking through the beautiful Hilton Bonnet Creek.
The serene.
With the palm trees and then here, I would just be like, oh my gosh.
So
well, the good news is I haven't taken up smoking and I haven't lost any money yet, so that's good.
That's good.
Now,
That's good.
I've had a contact high for the past several months, but that's okay. Marijuana
That's hilarious.
is legal out here. But no, it's really well done, and things are slowly returning to normal. The city is pretty much full on the weekends, every weekend. I think Caesars announced that they're full indefinitely for the near future.
Wow.
Entertainment looks like it's coming back the end of June, early July.
So explain to us the bigger hotels there. Are they all open, or are they starting to open up now, one by one?
Oh no, they're open.
They're all open.
There's very few that's closed. The main strip and downtown Las Vegas is rocking and rolling. No, this feels like we've never had a pandemic. Now, again, very protected. The Gaming Commission has done an excellent job in having the hotels vaccinate their team members. So if you look at the stats, Southern Nevada Health District, we're about 45% vaccinated right now with the entire population, which is very good, relatively speaking. And then I think we're at about 1.6 million, I don't know the medical term, but initiated vaccinations. And then, but the team members in the actual hotels where the casinos are, which is the majority of the hotels on the Strip, are about 90% vaccinated because they actually administered the vaccinations in partnership with the local hospitals here, which have done a fantastic job. So if you asked me 3 months ago where my first vaccine would be, I would have never said Wynn Resorts, where anybody could go in and get your vaccine, because they were promoting the vaccine for their team members to get back to normal. So now that that's happened, CDC has said if you've had your vaccine, you can remove your masks. So we're at about 80% capacities right now. We're going to be probably at 100% June 1st.
Wow, that's great.
With no social distancing. So, and again, I'm not speaking to business specific. I'm talking about in general for Vegas. This does not take into account.
Right. So what does that mean for meetings and events where the majority of the hotels will be running at 100% capacity? Have you seen an uptick in meetings?
Yeah, the meetings are happening. The conventions, you have to, anything under 20,000, you can have at 80%, but you do have to apply for a permit currently. That we think is going to be relaxed in the next month or so. Large conventions are holding right now for the summer and fall, which is exciting. World of Concrete and others. So no, it's again, because I think the City of Las Vegas, or the Gaming Commission specifically, in conjunction with the county leaders, they've done it so well. They feel very comfortable, and I think you're going to see meeting planners feel comfortable in bringing their meetings here, just like they will in Orlando. Orlando's done it so well, and you've got the big companies like Hilton, who have done an exceptional job in really implementing industry-leading cleaning protocols that I know are going to stay. I feel good about the fact that Lysol was an excellent partner for Hilton, for example.
Oh yes.
We see that staying. Of course, the social distancing protocols, the plexiglass, the 6 foot, 3 foot rule, which is in place right now. I see that going away by the summertime. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
I think hybrid meetings are here to stay. We're going to continue to see that. By the way, technology just came from a whole nother level over this last year and really pushed the hybrid meeting technology, which is excellent right now versus a year ago even. So I see a lot of that staying, but it's also going to promote meetings to come back quicker. I think if you asked me 6-7 months ago where meetings were going to be, I would say it's going to be years, but I see a lot of progress.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I mean, I know just in the past like 2 weeks at my job, I've felt it. I mean, it was like 2 Mondays ago. I mean, I came in and it was like 0 to 60, just tons of
Right.
emails, people ready to plan. We just had a program last week where they were fully like, we don't need to social distance. They weren't wearing masks, and we obviously we're kind of now navigating kind of customizing social distancing their way. It's an
Right.
option, and we'll of course always do it, and we'll of course always be prepared for it. But it's looking to the meeting planner and the client of what's your culture,
Right.
what's your pulse on it, how we'll do whatever you need us to do. We've got all the protocols ready at any point, but if you're comfortable taking those masks off, or you're comfortable being back at 2 per 6, then
Right.
we'll
Right.
we'll take your lead. And so it's kind of navigating what those conversations are and what that language is, and being cautious with
Right.
that language. And
Yeah.
but it's good to see.
Yeah.
It's good to see it
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, masks are interesting. I think you're going to see masks. I mean, personally, I'm going to wear a mask. I'm enjoying the fact that I haven't had a cold, thankfully, since February 2020. And normally, in that same amount of time, I would have had about 10 colds by now. I think you both
Oh,
know
wow.
that.
Yeah.
And so I believe masks have been very helpful to me. So anytime I'm in crowded, flying or whatever, I hope that sticks around for a while.
Yeah.
But I think once you're vaccinated, the CDC says you can take that mask
Yeah.
off. So
Right.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it, just like to your point, is if you're in a crowd or on a plane, it's not going to be weird to see the person that puts a mask on, where before you
was
might have
weird.
been like, well, what is this person doing? You would it would maybe have been odd to see
Yeah.
that. But for
That's
the
right.
rest of our lives, really, it's just going to be this normal thing that, oh, yeah, some people are more cautious and they just wear a mask,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
That's how I'll be
It-
explaining it to my boys.
I'm not gonna mind
Right.
it on an airplane.
Yeah.
Like, I'll
Right.
pack mine. Put it
Yeah.
on the airplane.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. And I think that's good. I think it's good. And I think that'll promote people getting out. International needs to come back to Orlando, needs to come back to Las Vegas, needs to come back to the big markets, and we need international back. That's a huge part of the tourism dime, and that needs to happen. We need to get the convention business coming back, which I think is going to happen sooner than we thought, and I think international business is going to come back. The key for us operators is going to continue to be taking care of your stakeholders in a whole different way. Take care of your owners, making sure that we are advising them, giving them the best information they can to lead their asset, or to protect their asset. Our guests, to continue to keep them safe. We've got to work with meeting planners. We got to be flexible. We're going to have to do whatever we can to make sure that their clients are well protected and taken care of. And of course, our goal, and I know Hilton's goal, is to bring back our team members to work. It's so important, and I know that's happening and being worked towards. But we also have to keep our team members safe. So it's a very interesting challenge for leaders in our business right now, and it's interesting.
Are you facing the same challenges in Vegas that we are here in Florida, primarily with hiring line level associates?
Recruiting issues.
With recruiting. Are you guys kind of facing the same issues?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, and as operators, it's kind of a difficult thing, because if you've got your team members coming back, but understandably they're enjoying maybe some support and benefits of the government, and maybe they're not feeling safe. So, and then of course, if you don't have a team that is ready to support a very large occupancy, they may not be willing to jump back in. And I think you're seeing that across the industry throughout the country. It's not business specific. So
Right.
yeah, absolutely, Las Vegas. I've never ever seen anything like this, especially watching it go from 0 to 60 in the last 2 months, where we're running a full city, and it's a busier city than normal, because you're serving leisure clients versus the convention traveler who may be in meetings, who may be captured. So they're all in the restaurants. They're all in the
That's a great point.
main tourist corridor versus spread out into convention space. So we're probably, this city's probably busier than it's, you usually get those seasons through the holiday periods where you experience this. This is constant, which is fun, great to see. And our positivity rate here in Vegas is less than 5%, so that's been good. So we're staying protected, keeping our tourists protected, and so it's a busy life. And we need our team members back.
My in-laws frequent Vegas often, and they're high rollers, like really.
Oh yeah.
On those penny slots. But my mother-in-law has said over and over, I mean, she's been going for months. She's been definitely somebody who has not been as fearful of it, and she's been vaccinated now, but every time she comes back, she has nothing but just praises of how clean the properties are, the service, almost more so than it was before, so she's just very,
it makes sense,
been very pleased. I always love hearing her stories of, and what was the hotel like, or what were they doing, and she gives me the scoop, but and that's just one guest perspective, but she's somebody who is there all the time and has a really good perspective on before, during, now.
Yeah, no, I have been part of the reopening, if you will, after operations were suspended back in the spring last year. Seeing the customers come back, and then seeing it to today, how the hotels and restaurants have really protected their customer, and I'm so proud of that, and being a leader in that, and being a part of that. To be able to talk about that one day is just interesting, just, to be able to share how that happened. I mean, I've been involved in it every minute since we reopened, and it's a safe environment for people to travel in. It's never been safer. And wear your mask. That was important. But did the hotels respond incredibly? Yes. And I'm very proud of the company that I work for, who really took a leadership role in that. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And what about, we're curious about the nightlife. So has the nightlife come back like full swing? Can you speak to that, Glenn?
Well, first of all, my wife is in Orlando, and I don't want to go into too many. No, I'm kidding. Do I look like a nightlife person? No. But no, it is in full force. We're going to see Cirque du Soleil back. Yay. They're saying the intermission's almost over. And they kick off, I think, with Mystere. Is it that show that is at Treasure Island June 26th? And then at the Bellagio is back July 1st. So that's exciting. So you're seeing those shows come back. I can't wait to see the Beatles come back. Love. That's going to be awesome. And then all the big acts are coming back in the summertime. So that's going to be huge for Las Vegas.
Very cool.
And a couple of really cool new hotels that have reopened too, which we're excited about here. And by the way, they both happen to be Hilton products. I'm going to do a shameless plug there. We have the Virgin Hotel that just opened under just reflagged, I should say. It's a Curio property for Hilton.
Beautiful.
And then of course Resort Worlds, we're very excited about.
Yes.
It's the first new building to open, 3,500 rooms, all Hilton flagged, since the Cosmo in 2010.
Yeah.
And so this resort has been under development since, I want to say 04 or 05 it got penned, and then of course 08 things got slowed down, and then changed hands a couple of times. So the new owners, I think they broke ground in, I'm probably wrong on this, but I think it was 14. And then it got stalled again with the pandemic. But here we are, June 24th, and great headliners. Carrie Underwood, one of my faves. Many others, Katy Perry and several others are going to be headlining.
Yeah, I saw the press
so.
release. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Vegas was due for Hilton. It definitely was overdue for Hilton to come back
in
to
a
the
large
Strip.
presence.
Yeah.
for sure.
Absolutely. I would agree with that 100%. Yeah. So the great presence with Hilton Grand Vacations. The Alara obviously is a rock star property right there, town center, and several other great properties within that. But Hilton definitely on the Strip. It's going to have a Hilton. We're going to have a Conrad and an LXR brand. Crockford will be the other part of it. So 3 hotels.
Wow.
3,500 rooms, incredible property.
Yeah, beautiful.
With
I think we need to
amazing
plan a trip.
headliners.
I know. Have you been to Vegas?
Yeah, you really do.
Okay, so I've been to Vegas one time. Glenn, you're going to laugh at this, but it was my senior year of college. I went to Vegas for a job interview. I don't know.
Wow.
Why wasn't I with you?
But
How long have you known each other, you two? I'm surprised you weren't on that trip together.
I know.
I know.
Like,
Going
what the
on
heck?
20 years here. But okay, so it's the only time I've ever been to Vegas. Went there for a job interview, and I nailed all my interviews. Like, I felt really good. I had like a tremendous like, I just felt good going into it.
Yeah.
But then they make you take this test, right? You have to take some type of math test. It was really bad, and I failed it miserably.
Really?
Yeah, it was okay. So it was a 2-part test. It was like a character, analysis. It was a character analysis, right? That was part 1, and I felt like I did good on that. And then they started asking me a bunch of math questions. And you took it on a computer, and it was like an hour long.
Wow.
I'm sure I failed miserably because I never got a call back.
Oh my gosh.
So that's my one and only sad story to
Wow.
Vegas. Have you ever been?
No, I haven't.
Okay, Glenn.
Oh, you
I
never been?
haven't.
See,
Wow.
we're coming.
I haven't. 'Cause you know what? My husband used to go all the time. And it's like by the time he met me, he was over it. And so now it just, we've never really had
Yeah.
the reason or the opportunity. And now I have the kids, but it's on my list of what's that kind of milestone birthday or whatever it is. We need to get back out there. But you touched on it earlier, the World of Concrete. And that was one of the reasons why he was out there all the time, because my brother-in-law is a big deal in the construction world. And so he goes to World of Concrete every year. And so typically my husband and the whole family fly out there, spend the week while he's,
see?
whining and dining his customers.
We just need to piggyback off of that.
Yeah, but he was just talking about it the other day, about how excited he was for World of Concrete to come back, and explaining how it's such a great, it's such a flagship convention for the city.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's so
It is,
big.
yeah.
It literally takes over the whole city. It goes on forever, I feel like. I've
Yeah.
never been there, but I feel like I know everything about it from hearing my brother-in-law talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't before pandemic odd for them to be spread out into parking lots, because this is construction products.
So they need their
So they
big
would
machinery.
Yeah, so but I guess what he was telling me is that now it's going to be a lot more of that, that open air outdoors. Like, my booth is out in a huge parking lot. He's
Makes
already
sense, yeah.
already complaining about being in the blazing sun for how many days,
Yeah.
but it does make sense because
Yeah.
that's the perfect type of show that you've got
Yeah.
that kind of big heavy equipment. Why not
Yeah.
spread out outdoors where it makes sense anyway?
Yeah.
So I love
Yeah.
seeing that kind of
Now-
creative thinking.
Yeah, and bring the kids. It's actually a family destination too. Believe it or not, there's a lot to do in Las Vegas. It's incredible. It really is a
Right.
fun playground.
Well, bring
I
the
gotta
kids,
plug the-
Glenn. You'll watch the kids during the day
Glenn's
for
in charge.
us.
Glenn's
Oh yeah, we'll
babysitting.
take care of the kids.
Okay, so we are running short on time, but before we go, I have one question for both of you, okay, because we're talking about Las Vegas. So if you could go to any residency, so one of the concerts, one of the local residencies, past or present, which one would you go to?
Oh, geez. I mean, I feel like that's a hard question, because you don't get that job to be a Las Vegas residency unless you're amazing. So I all of them, but I mean, I'd love to be cliche and go see Britney, but then there's also Celine. I feel like you can't. It's like you have to check the box
Yep.
of seeing Celine.
Yep, Celine's there. You miss Britney, but Celine.
Yeah.
I think we miss Britney. Yeah.
Yeah.
Glenn, does anyone come to mind for you?
Well, yeah, you're right about everybody being great, but one great, amazing thing about Las Vegas right now is the Las Vegas Golden Knights. So, by the way, I'm a Montreal Canadian guy, and this team is going to blow everybody out of the water this year. That's my prediction. So, anybody, Andre Fleury is the goalie. He's a hero of mine, and yeah,
Shout out
it'd be
to
cool
Andre.
to meet him. This is a big hockey town, believe it or not. And now the Raiders are in town with a brand new stadium that hasn't been used before.
Okay.
So lots of sports going on. I hear there's an NBA arena coming in soon.
Wow.
And a lot of cool sports. So I would have to throw sports out there,
Yeah.
but I didn't mention J-Lo or Carrie
yeah.
Underwood. I'd be lying.
Yes.
Yeah.
My wife would know that too.
They just put on a show,
They're amazing. Yeah. Awesome. Well,
Yeah, so
Glen,
anyway.
we can't thank you enough for taking time out of your busy schedule to chat with us. We know you're very busy out there, so
Yeah,
thank you so much
definitely.
for joining us on our show.
Well, it's a privilege. I'm so proud of both of you. This is such a cool show, what you're doing, and thank you for helping those that are needing to get back and to help them reinvent themselves and help them. You've done such a cool thing. Just really neat. So it's a privilege. Thank you for
Thank you.
for
It means a lot coming
having
from
me
you.
on.
Yes, thank you.
Guys. We'll have a
All right,
great
well,
day.
thank you to our audience, and thank you so much for joining us. And
We hope you enjoy having a brand new day.